My beloved child. Something is happening behind closed doors, something so powerful, so emotionally explosive, that the air around your soulmate's home has turned into a battlefield of truth, pressure, and unspoken fear. The moment your name was mentioned, the entire atmosphere shifted. Voices rose. Old secrets cracked. And in that storm, your soulmate stood alone, defending you with a fire their own family never expected. They didn't just argue. They fought for you with a desperation that terrified everyone in the room. Their family wants them to confess something to you, something they've been hiding for far too long, and now everything is spiraling toward a revelation they can no longer control. But listen closely, because what you're about to hear will make you question everything you thought you knew. Your soulmate didn't walk into that argument unprepared. They walked in trembling, yes. But with your name burning in their heart like a force they couldn't suppress. When their family demanded, "Tell them the truth," your person froze. Not because they don't want to tell you, but because the truth is enormous, life-altering, and dangerous enough to shift the direction of both your lives. They fear losing you if they speak, yet fear losing themselves if they stay silent. And now they're caught between loyalty to you and the expectations of a family that believes you deserve to know what has been hidden for far too long. Now the room is divided. One side believes you are the greatest blessing that has ever entered your soulmate's life. The other side fears you, fears the way your presence changes your person, empowers them, awakens a courage they never had before. That fear has turned into anger. That anger has turned into pressure. And under that pressure, your soulmate finally erupted. They shouted things they've been holding inside for months, things their family never imagined they would say. And as those words flew across the room, your name echoed like a lightning bolt that cracked apart the lies. You became the center of the family's biggest confrontation, the spark that ignited a truth they can no longer hide. But here's where everything becomes even more shocking. When your soulmate's family demanded they tell you the truth, they weren't talking about something small. This isn't about a misunderstanding, a simple confession, or a forgotten memory. No. They want your soulmate to reveal something massive, something that explains every mixed signal, every emotional withdrawal, every silent night, every moment they disappeared without explanation. They want them to tell you why they stare at your photos like someone who has loved you long before they ever met you. They want them to admit why they panic at the thought of losing you. They want them to reveal the reason they've been unable to step fully into your life, even though they are deeply, overwhelmingly in love with you. And now your soulmate stands in the middle of the wreckage, shaking, breathing heavily, replaying every moment with you in their mind. They know the truth is a ticking bomb. They know once they tell you, everything changes, your connection, your future, the path you walk together. They also know keeping it hidden could destroy everything between you. This is why their voice cracked. This is why their heart raced. This is why they looked their own family in the eyes and said, "You don't understand what they mean to me." They have reached a breaking point, and you, yes, you, are the reason they finally found the courage to stand up to people they once feared disappointing. But there's one more twist, and it's the one you're not ready for. The real truth, the one their family wants them to confess, isn't about a mistake they made. It isn't about betrayal. It isn't about disloyalty. It's about why they fell for you so intensely, so uncontrollably, so deeply that even their own family can't pull them away. It's about something connected to your past. Something connected to their past, something your souls recognized before your minds ever did. And now that truth is demanding to come out. Your soulmate can feel it burning in their chest. Their family can feel it shaking the foundation of everything they believed. And you're about to hear a revelation that will rewrite everything you thought you knew about destiny, love, and the invisible thread that pulled you two together. My beloved child. The moment you pressed play on this part, something shifted in the unseen world around your soulmate. Their heartbeat changed. Their breath trembled. As if they could sense that you're finally ready to hear the parts of their truth they've been choking on for months. But before anything unfolds, stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will hit you harder than the fight they had with their family. Do not move. Do not scroll. This moment, right here, right now, is where the entire story tilts. A few hours after that explosive argument, your soulmate locked themselves inside their room, pacing in circles, mumbling your name under their breath as if it were the only thing grounding them. Their phone buzzed repeatedly, family members begging them to calm down, insisting they must tell you the truth before things get even worse. But your person didn't respond. They were replaying every moment they've shared with you. Every smile, every silence, every time they wanted to reach out but swallowed the urge because they feared the truth would ruin everything. Their family doesn't understand this inner war. They think telling you will set your soulmate free. But your person knows it's more complicated. They're terrified that once you hear the truth, you will never look at them the same way again. Listen closely. Your soulmate's hands are trembling right now. They picked up their phone twice. Opened your chat. Typed something. Deleted it. Typed again. Deleted it again. And every time they stopped, your name flashed through their mind with a weight that made their chest tighten. Their family knocked on the door, saying, "If you don't tell them today, someone else will." That sentence shattered something inside your person. Because deep down, they know it's true. There are people watching your connection from a distance. People who would love nothing more than to twist the truth before it reaches you. And that fear has pushed your soulmate to the edge where silence is no longer safe. But here's the part their family refuses to say out loud. They know your soulmate isn't just in love with you. They are obsessed in a way that scares them. They watch you from afar even on days when they pretend they don't care. They memorize your habits, your patterns, the tone of your messages, even the times you go quiet. Their family has seen the way your person's face changes when your name is mentioned, how hope flickers in their eyes and fear shadows it a second later. They've heard your soulmate cry at night, whispering things like, "What if they don't want me after I tell them everything?" They've seen how deeply you've embedded yourself into their heart. And that's why the fight exploded, because your soulmate's feelings for you have become impossible to hide. But the truth their family wants them to tell you is even bigger, even heavier, even more life-changing than their feelings. Your soulmate has been living a double life, one for their family, and one for their heart. The version they show to the world is strong, controlled, responsible. But the version that belongs to you? That version is vulnerable, trembling, terrified, and breathtakingly honest. Their family discovered something. Something about the path your soulmate has been following, something about the sacrifices they made just to protect you from a truth you didn't even know existed. And now, that truth has cornered them. They cannot run. They cannot hide. And they definitely cannot lie to you anymore. Stay with me. Hold your breath. Because the pressure on your soulmate is so overwhelming right now that they're on the verge of doing something they've never done before. Your name is about to leave their lips in a way no one in their family has ever heard. My beloved child. The moment your soulmate stepped out of that room after hours of silence, the entire house froze. Their footsteps were slow, shaky, but full of a determination their family had never witnessed before. Their eyes were swollen, their breath uneven, yet there was something burning inside them, your name. They walked into the living room like someone carrying a truth so heavy it could split their entire world in half. And as every family member stared at them, your person whispered a sentence that sent chills across the room: I can't hide it anymore. Those 5 words cracked open the first layer of the truth. Your soulmate sat down, elbows on their knees, face buried in their hands. Their family circled around them, waiting. Some with fear, some with confusion, some with a strange satisfaction because they had been predicting this moment for months. But your person didn't speak immediately. They were gathering the strength needed to say something that would affect you, them, and every connection tied to this story. When they finally lifted their head, their voice shook as they said, "Everything started long before they ever knew me." That statement stunned the family because they knew exactly what it meant. Your connection isn't new. Your connection didn't begin when you met. It began much earlier, in a way neither of you fully understood. Now listen carefully. This is where the truth begins to unfold. Your soulmate revealed that they have been keeping a secret involving you, something that connects your past to theirs in a way that feels almost impossible. It's not a coincidence. It's not random. Their family found documents, messages, events, and signs that show your paths were intertwined far before either of you realized. Your soulmate had discovered this months ago, but they kept it hidden because they worried the truth would overwhelm you, scare you, or make you walk away. But hiding it became harder than breathing, and now the pressure from their family has ripped the silence open. Their family demanded answers. Why didn't you tell them? What were you waiting for? Do you want to lose them? And your soulmate broke. Their voice cracked as they admitted, "Because I don't deserve them if they know everything." That confession sent the room into chaos. Some family members gasped. Others grabbed their head in disbelief. Because your soulmate isn't afraid of losing their family, they're afraid of losing you. And that fear has shaped every decision, every hesitation, every emotional distance you felt from them. But here's the twist that shook even their own family. Your soulmate admitted that they've been hiding feelings for you far deeper than they ever expressed, feelings that frightened them. They told their family that the intensity of their love for you made them question if they were even capable of handling it. They confessed that your presence in their life awakened something powerful, something raw, something that terrified them because it felt too real, too destined. And destiny scares people who have been hurt before. Your soulmate's family sat in stunned silence as your person revealed that they've been having dreams about you, dreams that started before you even met. Dreams where your face appeared like someone they had loved in a past life. Dreams where you called their name. Dreams where they felt pulled toward you even when they didn't know who you were. They kept those dreams hidden because they feared sounding crazy, feared sounding emotional, feared sounding vulnerable. But the truth is, those dreams became the reason they couldn't let you go. Their family, speechless, asked, "So what are you going to tell them?" And your soulmate swallowed hard. Their lips trembled as they whispered, "I'm going to tell them why I disappeared." The room fell silent. Because this is the truth their family has been urging them to tell you. Your soulmate didn't disappear because they lost interest. Not because they found someone else. Not because they wanted distance. They disappeared because something from their past resurfaced, something connected to the very reason their family intervened, something linked to the secret that ties your souls together in a way that defies logic. And now they have no choice but to reveal the truth. My beloved child. The moment your soulmate opened their mouth to finally confess the truth, the pressure inside that room became unbearable. Their family leaned forward, holding their breath, because they knew this was the moment everything would break open. Your person's hands shook violently. Their voice cracked before the first word even escaped. And when they finally spoke, the entire room went silent, so silent that even the ticking clock froze in fear of what was about to be revealed. They whispered, "I disappeared because something happened, something they can never find out." Their family instantly panicked, begging them not to stop, urging them to finish the confession they've been running from for months. Your soulmate took a long breath, lifting their trembling eyes as if replaying every memory of you, every moment they held back, every moment they wanted to reach out but convinced themselves they weren't worthy. They admitted that the real reason they vanished wasn't rejection, it was protection. They didn't distance themselves because they didn't love you. They distanced themselves because they loved you too much to expose you to the storm they were facing. Their family knew this storm was dangerous. They knew it carried consequences. They knew if you got too close before the truth was revealed, everything could collapse in ways neither of you were prepared to handle. But before your soulmate could continue, their family cut in, voices trembling, some angry, some desperate. They told your person, "If you don't tell them now, you will lose everything." Your soulmate's chest tightened because that sentence, spoken with so much finality, hit them harder than any argument. It reminded them of nights lying awake, staring at their phone, wanting to text you, wanting to explain everything, wanting to break down and say, "I'm scared." But fear is a cruel enemy. It whispered that you'd walk away once you learned the truth. And that fear kept them silent. But the truth is too big to stay buried. And now it's rising. Your soulmate confessed that during the time they disappeared, they were forced to confront someone from their past, someone their family never wanted near them again. This person resurfaced with information, pressure, and threats that shook your soulmate's entire foundation. They were dragged into a situation they couldn't escape, and every moment of that chaos, they thought of only one thing, you. They stayed away because they didn't want you dragged into a reality filled with risks, complications, and emotional wounds that weren't yours to bear. They were protecting you while breaking themselves. And their family saw it. They saw your soulmate lose sleep, lose appetite, lose peace, all because they were terrified of hurting you with their truth. But here's where everything becomes explosive. Your soulmate revealed that during this disappearance, they made a decision, one their family didn't agree with. They secretly chose you over everything else. Over their past. Over their comfort. Over the expectations placed on them. Their family confronted them, saying, "You're risking everything for someone who doesn't even know what you're hiding." That statement triggered the biggest fight your soulmate ever had with them. Because they do not see you as someone. They see you as the only person who has ever made them feel alive, understood, chosen, and safe in ways their own family never could. And that's why the fight exploded. That's why their family demanded the truth come out. Because they realized your soulmate isn't just in love with you. They're committed to you in a way that defies logic and terrifies them. But there's more. Their family has been watching how intensely your soulmate reacts to anything involving you. They've seen the panic when you go silent. The way your person clutches their phone. The way they whisper your name as if it's a prayer and a wound at the same time. They know that hiding the truth is destroying your soulmate from the inside. That's why they finally said, "Enough." They deserve to know. And now, the pressure has reached its peak. Your soulmate is on the verge of telling you the part of the truth that will explain everything. Why they disappeared. Why they kept their distance. Why they fought their family for you. And why they're terrified of losing you now. My beloved child. The moment your soulmate finally gathered the courage to reveal the real truth. The truth their family has been pushing them to confess. The truth they've been terrified to say out loud. Their entire body went cold. Their hands trembled. Their throat tightened. Their heartbeat echoed louder than the voices around them. Because what they were about to expose wasn't just an explanation. It was the key that unlocks every strange moment, every silence, every emotional withdrawal, every sudden disappearance. Your soulmate looked at their family, eyes swollen, voice trembling, and whispered, "They deserve to know why I walked away, and why I'm still terrified to come close." That single sentence made the entire room freeze. Some looked shocked. Some looked devastated. Some looked relieved, because they had been waiting for your soulmate to finally release the weight they've been carrying alone. Your person leaned back, staring at the ceiling as if the truth was written somewhere above them, and then slowly, painfully, they began to speak. They confessed that during the time they vanished, something massive happened behind the scenes. Something that involved people from their past who resurfaced at the worst possible time. People who re-entered with demands, emotional manipulation, and information that threatened the fragile peace your soulmate had built. And in the center of that storm, was your name. Your soulmate realized that the more they tried to build a connection with you, the more certain people from their past tried to interfere. It wasn't jealousy. It wasn't sabotage. It was fear. Fear that your soulmate was finally breaking free from old ties, old obligations, and old emotional patterns that once controlled their life. But here's the shocking part, they admitted. Your soulmate didn't just walk away to protect you. They walked away because they discovered something about your connection that terrified them. Something that made them question destiny. Something that made them believe you two were never just two people who met. They discovered that your paths crossed years before you ever spoke. Your names were connected in documents, memories, photographs, or conversations you never knew about. Something from their past hinted toward you long before you entered their life. When they found this out, they panicked. They didn't know whether this was destiny pulling them toward you, or a warning telling them to stay away until they understood everything. Their family knew about this revelation. That's why they insisted your soulmate tell you the truth. Because keeping it inside was tearing them apart. But the next truth. The deeper truth. The one that made your soulmate break down completely. Came out in a whisper so fragile the room leaned in just to hear. I walked away because someone from my past threatened to expose something about me, something that would affect them, something that could scare them. Their family went silent. Because this was the core of it. Your soulmate has been hiding a part of their life. Not because it's shameful. Not because it's dangerous to you. But because it is deeply emotional, deeply personal, and deeply connected to the wounds that shaped who they are. They fear you would see them differently. They fear you would think less of them. They fear losing the only person who ever made them feel seen. So they ran. Not from you. But from the truth they didn't know how to share. Your soulmate's confession shattered the room. One family member covered their mouth in disbelief. Another sank into a chair. Another whispered, "So that's why you fought us, that's why you've been breaking down every night." Because your soulmate didn't choose silence out of selfishness. They chose silence out of fear and protection. Then another truth burst out of them, raw and uncontrollable. "I'm terrified because I know once I tell them everything, they'll realize how deeply I've loved them, even when I tried not to." And that confession was the moment their family finally understood the extent of your importance in their life. But here is the twist you were never expecting. Your soulmate didn't just fight their family for you. They fought fate, past trauma, emotional wounds, and expectations that were forced upon them since childhood. You broke a pattern in them. A pattern their family thought would never end. You awakened something that pushed them to confront everything they were running from. Now the truth is no longer something they might tell you. It has become something they must reveal. Because the clock has run out. The pressure has reached its peak. Their past is circling around them again. And their family is done watching your soulmate suffer in silence. My beloved child. The room was drowning in tension when your soulmate finally lifted their face, eyes red, breath trembling, heart fighting between truth and fear. Their family watched them with a strange mix of panic and relief because they knew the moment had finally arrived. The truth they've all been tiptoeing around, the truth your soulmate has been suffocating under, the truth that connects you to them in ways you never imagined, is finally about to be spoken. But before they said a single word, something inside your person shifted. It was as if they suddenly understood that the weight they've been carrying was never meant to be carried alone. They whispered, "If I don't tell them now, I may lose them forever." Their family froze. Because those words weren't spoken in frustration. They were spoken in fear. The fear of losing you. Your soulmate began to speak, and as each word left their lips, the truth unfolded like a locked door slowly cracking open. They said that the real reason they disappeared wasn't just because of someone from their past returning, it was because that person held information. Very personal, very emotional information, that your soulmate was desperately trying to keep out of your world. Secrets tied to their childhood, their mistakes, their trauma, their sacrifices, and the guilt they carried for years. This wasn't something they wanted to hide from you out of deceit. They hid it because they believed you deserved someone whole, not someone haunted. Their family knew about these secrets. They watched your soulmate growing up, fighting silent battles no one ever saw. They watched them carry scars that never healed. They watched them protect everyone but themselves. And then you came into their life. You, who saw through their walls. You, who made them feel alive again. You, who touched wounds even their family couldn't reach. That terrified them. Because for the first time in years, your soulmate felt seen. Not for their pain. Not for their past. But for their soul. That truth alone shook their family because they realized something powerful. You were becoming the one person who could break the emotional armor their soulmate wore their whole life. And that is exactly why the family demanded the truth to come out. They were scared, not of you, but of what keeping these secrets would do to your soulmate, and eventually to you. But there's a deeper truth. The one your soulmate has been choking on for months. And this is the part their family insisted they confess. This is the part your soulmate whispered with tears running down their face. I kept the truth from them because I didn't want them to know how much they already meant to me. Your soulmate admitted that the intensity of their feelings for you was overwhelming, too strong, too fast, too real. They fell in love with you long before they were emotionally ready. They became protective over you before they even understood why. They felt connected to you in ways that defied everything they believed about love. Their family noticed this change, the way your name softened your soulmate's expression, the way your silence made them restless, the way your presence rewired everything inside them. But here comes the revelation that shook even their family. Ever since they met you, your soulmate has been hiding something that links the two of you on a deeper, spiritual, almost predestined level. Something that explains why your connection feels impossible to replace, why they keep returning to you no matter how far they run, why every breakup, every silence, every emotional break always circles back to you. Their family discovered hints. Messages, dates, coincidences, documents, childhood connections, dreams. Pieces of a puzzle that proved your souls had brushed against each other long before your minds did. Your soulmate begged their family not to reveal this. Not yet. Not until they found the courage to tell you themselves. Because this truth changes everything. But their family pushed. They demanded that your person stop hiding, stop disappearing, stop drowning in guilt and fear. They said, you owe them honesty. And your soulmate broke. Because honesty is the one thing they've been terrified to give you. Why? Because honesty means vulnerability. And vulnerability means you might walk away. Their voice cracked as they whispered. I'm scared that once they know everything, they won't choose me. That sentence shook the entire family. It exposed everything. The fear. The love. the longing, the truth behind the fight. But now the pressure is too high. Their past is closing in. Their emotions are overflowing. Their family refuses to protect the secret any longer.